Hi Leo, welcome to your astrology forecast for 2019 and 2020. Now this is a general look at the next 2 years with a primary focus on 2019. I will go into greater detail when I do the monthly forecast. So let's take a look at what's ahead for you. Now, you've been going through a major transformation already, and you probably felt it the minute Saturn entered Capricorn. There's an overhaul happening in the area of your work, your lifestyle, your health habits, your work habits, as well as your destiny in the world, what you do in the world. And that is going to continue over the next 2 years in a major way, in a profoundly important changes for many of you on deep personal levels. If you've been disenchanted by the status quo, or you have not been really connecting to what you're doing or wanting to do something else, now is the time to make those changes. 2019 and 2020, it's being asked of you. Now, the North Node was in Leo for the past 2 years. It has now shifted into Cancer from November 7th, 2018, and it'll be in Cancer through May 5th, 2020. With the North Node shifting into the area of personal karma, unfinished business, working behind the scenes, it is calling you to your destiny, to your higher calling, and your service to the world. Now, you felt this with the North Node in Leo being called to your destiny, especially with the eclipses and that total eclipse in Leo in 2017, August 21st, 2017. You were being called to your destiny. Now it's continuing, where it's about you being on your spiritual path and figuring out, well, what is my service to the planet? Why am I here? And how can I contribute my talents, my gifts, in a way that I enjoy, that is also an authentic expression of myself? And it's really important that you allow yourself to have those feelings. Like if you're feeling negative about things, or if you're feeling, I'm just so sick of what I'm doing, or I'm over it, I'm over what I've been doing. You don't want to be going, yeah, I'm fine, everything's okay. Because Leos can do that where, when people say, well, how you doing? Oh, I'm great. How you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. You really want to not go there. Allow yourself to be unhappy with what's not working for you, because the universe is calling for big changes for all of us, and for you it is with your destiny in the world, your profession in the world, your reputation in the world, your work in the world, your achievement in the world, and that's where the major overhaul is taking place for the next couple of years. Now, Jupiter is favoring you. Jupiter in your sister sign Sagittarius for all of 2019. He doesn't move into Capricorn until probably the end of November 2019, and then that will favor work. Here in the area of creative self-expression, being true to yourself, really knowing yourself, he's giving you the opportunity to go to the next level in your creativity, in how you express yourself, as well as he's lighting up true love, romance. Sagittarius is the natural ruler of this part of your life. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So it is quite possible for, single Leos to be meeting a soulmate in 2019, or meeting people that you connect to on a soul level, that you have fun with, that bring out your creativity and that you can use to express yourself in your work, in what you're doing in the world. Saturn is bringing you into a new way of living, a new lifestyle, a new way of working. And it's so important to be taking care of your health now, because with Saturn in this area, he pushes all the buttons. He has a way of really challenging anything that hasn't been addressed or we've been tolerating, and then all of a sudden you have something you have to deal with. You know, you have to drop everything and go take care of your health. And so be aware of your self-care and how you're taking care of yourself, because that's going to be really important. You know, Leos, we can think we're indestructible and that, you know, we can bounce back from anything. And so we kind of, at times, can take it for granted until something happens. And then it's, uh-oh, I have to deal with this or take care of this. But this can be your jumping off point for a renewed commitment to your spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical health and well-being. You're building a new foundation in your life, in your work, in your health, in your lifestyle. Think about what is working for you. What's working for you? What is it that you do like doing? Then think about what is not working for you. And where can you make the adjustments? It's very important to let go of the status quo. The North Node is in Cancer. Cancer is about nurturing you, nurturing your spiritual life, nurturing your personal life, nurturing you, nurturing your path. The North Node in Capricorn, we're not supposed to follow that, so that means we're not supposed to put the status quo ahead of self-nurturement. Like, oh, I'll keep everything the same, or, well, I look really good, so that's all that matters, or, well, the money keeps rolling in, so that's all that matters. No, it really is about looking at what's working for you and what isn't working for you. And it's better if you initiate the changes and not make Uranus and Pluto and Saturn do it for you, because they're on it. Now, Uranus has stepped back into Aries, and he'll be in Aries until March 6th. Then he re-enters Taurus and heads right for that midheaven. He heads right for that destiny in the world, your profession in the world, your reputation in the world, your status in the world. Now, for some of you, you could be getting married, and that changes your status. Uranus is changing things for you. If you've been stuck in something that isn't an authentic reflection of who you are now, Uranus has a way of kicking you out. He will just change it overnight, and it will be things that are out of your control. Uranus represents things that are out of our control, that happen to us, but really it's our unconscious projecting it out into the world, and then it's sent back to us. So when we think about it, it's like, oh, I really did want this change, or I really did need to change this. That's why we want to roll with the changes, and it's about you finding new ways to express your deep need to build something new and lasting. You're wanting to build something new and lasting that's an authentic reflection of you, who you really are, your authentic self. And it's a renewal time. You know, it's about renewing your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your spiritual life, your commitment to your soul, your commitment to your service to the planet, why you're here, and what changes you can make. It doesn't matter how you serve as long as it's an authentic reflection of you. When you come from your heart and you're serving from your heart, that's your service. And that's beautiful. So it has to be something that's reflective of a deeper understanding within yourself and your place in the world. So it's time to take a survey of the landscape. Make sure you take a survey of the landscape. You just want to just make changes to make changes. You want to, take a survey of the landscape before initiating the big changes you desire. And this is ongoing. Now, Uranus moving into this part of your life, he'll be in there for 6 years. So you're going to feel the greatest impact in 2019 and 2020, because whenever a planet crosses over into a new area, that's where the major change begins, and then the change, becomes more settled down and then more subtler. But the change is ongoing. It's just that we get used to it, so we don't notice it as much. And, this is important. So Saturn and Pluto are getting ready to couple together, and we're going to feel that right in 2019. The first eclipses start on January 5th. There's a solar eclipse in Capricorn. So you have Saturn in Capricorn, the Sun and the Moon in Capricorn, and you have Pluto in Capricorn. There'll be other, the North Node is there, Pallas Athena will be there, there's an asteroid. So there's a lot of energy in Capricorn, and that is bringing the action to this area of your work, your health, your lifestyle. And this is really big. Now, this is all about really rebuilding how you work or where you work or what you're doing, and you're being called to do that right as you go into the new year. And then you have your last eclipse. Yay! This is good news. The last eclipse in Leo for a while is a lunar eclipse on January 21st at 0 degrees Leo. And that's where it's really important for you to check in with your inner child, to check in with your soul, which is your inner child, and check in with you. What is it that you really want? What is your heart's desire? If you could have your life just the way you want it, what would that look like for you? You're going to have an opportunity to really cover this, and I'll go into detail when I do January. Then there's a solar eclipse July 2nd in Cancer that brings the action to behind the scenes, your karmic path, unfinished business, spirituality. And then July 16th, there's a lunar eclipse in Capricorn right back in there in that work area, how you work, your health. And then the final eclipse in 2019 will be a solar eclipse in Capricorn in that area of work and health. And this is so powerful because we're having 3 eclipses in 2019 in Capricorn. And so you're going to be so focused on your work in 2019. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't other fabulous things going on in your life. We want you balanced. And you do have Jupiter in that area of true love, romance, risk-taking, self-confidence, creative self-expression, romance, love, children, play, having fun. So there's going to be that part of you too that just doesn't even want to work, just wants to play. So you will have to take care of the inner child, to convince her why we're working. And so you can reward your inner child. It's like, okay, I'll work today, but tomorrow we're going to play. Or I'll work a few hours and then we're going to play. We're definitely working in our playtime. As long as you keep working in your playtime, then you'll find that, you're not going down, oh, I'm depressed, all I do is work, So you don't want to find yourself just being the workaholic, because that's what Saturn can do. Saturn is the workaholic, and in Capricorn, it can drive you to, ambition and achievement and money and status, and that North Node is in Cancer that's saying, no, nurture your work, nurture your career, nurture what you do in the world, but don't put that first above your self-care and your love, your heart, and your spiritual life. Very important to keep all of it going. So this energy is very significant because we have so many planets in Capricorn, and this is going to continue in 2020. When you go into 2020, you're going to see Mars in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, Pallas Athena in Capricorn, Pluto and Saturn coupled together. And that is exact all of 2020. So, Saturn is going to move into Aquarius, the area of relationships for you, and climb into the top of the chart. That's where you're really going to have your debut and break into a whole new level of life, work, relationships, and so on. And that's going to happen. He moves into Aquarius March 23rd, 2020 through June 16th, 2020. Then he backs into Capricorn June 17th through December 17th. And then he re-enters Aquarius December 18th. That's really going to be showtime. When he gets into Aquarius, because then he's going to be in the relationship sector, the public sector, and opposing your planets in Leo. That's why we want to get as much done now before he's totally on and the curtain lifts and the spotlight's on you, and you want to know your lines, right? You want to be ready when they go lights, camera, action! And you got to be ready for action! Now, something that's really interesting, and I talked about this when I did the 2018-2020 astrology forecast. I talked about taking you back to 1982 and 1983, and some of you are so cute because you're like, I wasn't born yet, or I was one. Okay, you can look at what was going on in your family then. You can look at what was going on with you even before you were here. Your chart is alive. You take your natal chart and you run the transits around that chart even if you weren't born yet. And you can see how it was affecting you even before you were born. You can do it after you cross over too. Now I'm going to give you another date. I want you to think about what was going on with you, Leo, 1989 and 1990. That was the last time you had a mega conjunction in Capricorn in this area of your work and your lifestyle. You had a mega conjunction with Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn all in Capricorn. And of course, the faster moving planets come by and they join them. Mercury, Venus, Mars. And so you have a major, conglomerate of planets now in Capricorn, in this area. Think about how this is affecting you. Think about the transformation you're going through. And you've been going through. You've been going through this for quite some time now. And that's why it's so important that you let go of being the noble Leo, or let go of being the I'm always fine Leo, or the I can handle anything Leo. It's like, no, we need help, we want help, and it's not a time to just cowboy up. It really is a time to be in touch with what's going on the deeper levels and where you're dissatisfied and what's not working for you. Because that's how we change it. That's how we fix it. That's why I started my academy, so that I can help women be empowered, grow their businesses, and be financially abundant. And that's the big change I've made. And that started last year. The minute Saturn went into Capricorn, it all just started to change. And so this is really important that you're acknowledging what needs to be changed in your life. And think about back in 1989 and 1990. What changes did you make back then? I changed everything in 1990, 1989. And, even if you're young and you were just a little kid then, it was probably going on in your family. And so now it's happening with you, and it's going to be a really big transformation. And that's exciting. It's about letting go of what's not working. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, so that doors can open to more meaningful ways that you can serve the planet, that you can be prosperous, that you can be abundant. Because when we're really connected to our authentic self, our creative power comes through. And that's really Uranus's intention in this part of your life, is to liberate you from what you're bored with, what you're done with, what doesn't satisfy you anymore. You need a greater challenge. You need a challenge that's exciting and interesting so that it keeps your life fresh and lively. Now, Neptune in Pisces is working with Saturn, and it is about you letting go of the fear of the unknown, or letting go of, not wanting to be uncomfortable because we're doing all new things we don't know how to do yet, or we're learning how to do. And plunge in there, because this is where you can really be amazed when you let your guard down and plunge into that nebulae, that creative part of Neptune, and see what you gain from the process. It's okay to step into the unknown. And fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is where we're not familiar with what it is. And it can hold so much potential for you. So embrace it. Don't let the unknown hold you back. Don't stay where it's familiar. Don't stay where it's always comfortable, because that's the rut. And that's where we're being pushed out and being pushed into doing something new. And Pluto and Saturn is about moving through the fear. And that way you're building a new foundation in your life. And this foundation is based on a clearer, healthier version of you. And it's about Pluto's demand to transform the ineffective and unsatisfying ways you've been living your life. Pluto drills down deep, and now we've got Saturn there too. And Uranus in the area of what you do in the world. So what you do in the world and your work, it's all changing. And it's so important to allow yourself to purge, to adapt, to structure your life in a way that serves you. Even if you get scared at times, like, I don't know where it's all going, I don't even know if I know what I'm doing here. It's okay, because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we took our first step. That's how we learned how to walk. We just got up and do it, and every time we fell down, we got back up again. And then our legs got stronger. And before you know it, we're just running all over the place and had no fear of it anymore. And that's what it is with this energy for you, is really creating a new pathway for you, building something new, creating something new, allowing for the new to come in. How you're connecting with your higher self. It's about letting down your guard so that you can step into the unknown, step into the unfamiliar, and allow for the new you that wants to express in a new way in the world. And that's really, the most important thing for you over the next couple of years. Because when Saturn goes into Aquarius, that's going to be showtime. He's going to come above the horizon. And, you have to be ready for that, because that's when we're in confrontation with the world. And we have to really know our stuff. And we have to know what we're doing. And that's, why everything is changing now over the next, 2 years, especially in 2019, because you're getting ready for 2020 when Saturn moves into Aquarius, comes above that horizon and just puts a spotlight on you. It's like, you got to be ready. And you can do it. Jupiter is giving you tremendous help this year, 2019. And he's going to be pouring positive energy into any planets you have in Leo. and lifting you up and creating new opportunities and opening new doors for you. So for those of you open for love, it's on and it's time. And this is going to be someone who's fun, who's good for you, who's lighthearted, who's low maintenance, and wonderful for you. Absolutely fabulous for you. For those of you coupled, this improves the relationship. Having Jupiter in this area, it just makes the relationship more fun. You want to have more fun together. You want to plan things together. You want to do things together. You want to celebrate the relationship. Any creative projects you're doing together is very good. Great time to do a creative project together. Really good for the relationship and positive. I'm not seeing any challenges to the money. The money will flow as you connect to your authentic self and do, work that is a true reflection of you. You're doing work that resonates with you. This is really important, is building a business that resonates with you and works for you. And this is what I love helping people to do, is finding that work that is an authentic reflection of you, that's creative, and that you can, build a life around and make a great living. Career is really very important over the next couple of years. Your career is in the spotlight, and there's a big focus on the career, big focus on the work, big focus on your health and taking care of you, and spiritually as well, big focus to, meditate, do rituals of practice that connect you to your soul, that connect you to your mighty I am presence, connect you to your soul self, and keep you in the divine flow so that you are open to the opportunities that are coming your way and making the positive changes in your life, because it's now time to do that, to make those changes and move forward on your path. So thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, favoring, sharing my videos. Leo, you're rocking awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps to support the channel, and it lets you know when I upload. So until next time, Leo, it's going to be amazing. There'll be awesome opportunities and a windfall of abundance.